Hi there, everybody. This is Mark Bromley, your artist and author of the Yoranthium book series. And today for you, I have another book cover I did. Let me see, how many did I do of these? There's three for the first book. Then there's like four for the second book. And the third book, I have the one. So that's four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight book covers that I did. So there's a series currently of eight here in 2020, starting of 2024 in January. This was done in 2022 and 2023. That's when these books were made up. 2022. Yeah. And this one right here is for the second book, the Book of Jintru, book two. Of course, it says it right there on the artwork. And this one is Eriderion, the Archangel Eriderion. He's an Ophanim, and he's falling from heaven into the universe, into the cosmos, because there's a bigger picture being created here. And to actually understand that, you'll have to get the Book of Jintru, which means that you have to help me out with the first book, Lost Hope, in order to get the second book, the Book of Jintru, published and printed up and everything like that, so you can actually see that story for yourself, because it's a fantastic story. It actually gives you the big, huge picture of the scope of the good versus evil in the Yoranthium book series, and or the big good versus the big bad, as other people like to put it. And this one just goes out there and tells you uh, what it is. And this is an Ophanim, a whole bunch of little eyeballs on the outer rings circulating around him, and why he's an archangel and isn't an archangel, but what he really is in the presence of God. Yes. So there is a theology, and I wanted to simplify the theology because a lot of book series, they get a little bit uh, dicey in their perspective, and I just wanted to unify the perspective in fiction and fantasy, and try to actually have it more well-rounded in modern times, so you guys can see that even though it's a work of fiction, there's concepts of what's going on in our modern times. And that's what's being discussed in the book series. And this is only book two. How many books are in this series? Well, I actually plan on like 30 of them. I know it sounds like an awfully large series of books, but there's a lot to tell. There's a lot of stories to going on, and you know, 487 pages per each novel seems like a lot of pages. Seems like a lot to read and a lot to go through. But the reality is, when you're telling a good story and you're crafting it, you have to identify and describe a lot of things in your book. Otherwise, people don't know what you're really referencing unless you're actually writing a lot of descriptions, a lot of terms, a lot of visualization so they can see it in their mind when they're reading a book. And that's what these books and novels actually are about. And there's some philosophy, theology, modern day politics that are actually in this. And well, this was at first I was starting out with the chapters for individual chapters to have book covers, maybe small Ukiyo-e images on top of each page for each chapter. And but then I realized that I have to keep it within certain means of affordability for a lot of these books. Otherwise, it starts to get a little bit uh, heavy on the graphics. Getting too heavy on the graphics is something to avoid. So I went with this for one of the chapters. Then there's two more. I guess there's a total of four book covers for the Book of Jintru, Book 2. And this is Eriderion leaving heaven and going out into the universe. And what he does there is, well, it's in the book. You're going to have to read it because it's actually quite remarkable because it teaches you a lesson about spirituality, or beliefs that I share and that many other cultures around the world to some extent also equally share. Maybe it's described differently by many different people, but when you see what I'm talking about here, you're going to see that commonality, that kind of reason why a lot of people would have those kind of beliefs and perceptions and why it actually exists. This is the part where I tell you that my book's actually better than Scientology because the belief system that's created in this book, even though it's mostly fiction, it's all fiction, uh, is actually a better storyline. And that's what I tell people about because it actually is. And it's more down to earth, it's more humane, and it's probably a lot better than what L. Ron Hubbard came up with. And I know I'm probably creating book author zealots now, so I'm probably creating a schism right there in the literary industry. Taking on one of the major writers of some the current books out there, or maybe I might actually be correcting some faults and some mistakes that were made, and that could be adapted to a better story. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm actually repairing a situation. Well, we'll have to see. But you have to start supporting my books to actually find out. So go to my website, send me emails if you're interested in more of my work, and we can talk. And we'll come up with a better idea. I mean, if you want to schedule book signings, events, maybe commission some of my artwork, or get posters, other types of media, I'd be happy to create more artwork for you. Because I do a wide range of art. I know I got like 64 videos up here of just digital artwork, watercolors, some oil paints, some acrylics. So it looks like mostly just flat paints and stuff like that on canvas. Oh, the canvas, by the way, I actually stretch my own canvas, so it's drum tight and it's fantastic. So I'm really good at that. I create my own frames too and do the matting and everything else. I'm a full-blown artist. I can even do printmaking, bookbinding, and I can also do sculpture, bronze sculpture, uh, all sorts of different kinds of sculpture. As a matter of fact, I can do everything that there is you can think of under the sun for artwork. I was trained and taught to do over at Western University. You know what art school actually really teaches? It teaches technique. It teaches methodology. It teaches new ideas of how to actually create art. That's what it actually teaches. It doesn't really make you a better artist. It just makes you a more knowledgeable artist. That's what colleges do. And I had to explain that to people that just work in one media because that's all they do is they work in one media. And they do that for 20 or 30 years of their life, or 50, 100 years, whatever. And but they only do that one medium. Well, see, art college can teach you multiple mediums. So you are good at many different facets of art. And that's the truth of why there's an art school, why art schools exist. They teach multifaceted artists. And that's what it actually is. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Hope you become a customer of mine and want to get my Yoranthium books and order my artwork. It's just that simple. Thank you very much. I could use the help. I'm struggling myself, and I'd appreciate it. Thank you.